Somewhere right now, a manager is looking at an open position and asking a brand new question. Do we hire someone, or can the software cover it? That question, repeated quietly across a few million desks, is what AI and jobs actually means. Not robots marching into the building, just a hesitation hanging over vacancies that used to get filled automatically. This is AI for Normal People, a series for smart adults who don't work in tech and don't want to. Today, what the actual evidence says about AI and work. Not the terror headlines, not the nothing will change reassurance, and then a way of thinking about your own job that's more useful than either. Plus the one thing worth doing about it this year, which, fair warning, is not learn to code. Start with the strange truth. The evidence points in two directions at once, and knowing that is already more than most headlines will tell you. Direction 1, the worrying one. Researchers at Stanford found that hiring of young workers in the jobs most exposed to AI, the roles where AI can do many of the daily tasks, has dropped measurably since these tools arrived, on the order of a 13% decline for entry-level positions in those fields. The squeeze is real, it's concentrated, and it lands hardest on people trying to get their first foothold. Routine office work, basic customer service, junior versions of desk jobs. Direction 2, the surprising one. When researchers survey the people who actually do the hiring, far more employers say AI will increase their hiring than decrease it. In one large study of hiring executives, nearly 3 times as many. Some big companies are expanding entry-level hiring while loudly adopting AI. And the mass layoffs attributed to AI in headlines usually turn out, on inspection, to have several parents. Interest rates, overhiring during the pandemic, ordinary cost-cutting wearing a fashionable excuse. Both directions are true at once. That's not evidence being useless. It's evidence describing turbulence rather than apocalypse. Specific doors are narrowing while other doors open, which means the useful question was never, will AI take the jobs? It's which parts of which jobs, and is mine built from those parts? For that, you need one idea, and it's the most useful idea in this entire topic. Here it is. AI doesn't compete with jobs. It competes with tasks, and a job is a bundle of tasks. Take a paralegal. The job title is one word, but the workday is a bundle. Reading long documents and summarizing them, finding relevant past cases, drafting routine filings, managing schedules, calming a stressed client, noticing that something a witness said doesn't add up. An accountant is a bundle. A teacher is a bundle. Your job is a bundle, and AI is only good at some of the strands. What today's AI does well, producing first drafts of routine writing, summarizing long documents, sorting and categorizing information, answering questions whose answers exist somewhere, translating between formats, mess into spreadsheet, notes into memo. What it does badly or not at all, taking responsibility for a decision, building trust with an actual human, physical work, reading a room, knowing your organization's unwritten rules, and being accountable when something goes wrong. You cannot fire software. Someone's name still has to be on the line. So the honest exercise, worth 10 real minutes of your week, is to unbundle your own job. List what you actually do all day, honestly, including the parts not in the job description. Mark the strands that are producing routine text and sorting information. Mark the strands that are judgment, relationships, responsibility, and hands. The first list is where AI is coming. The second list is why you're still employed. Nearly every job has both. Almost no job, including yours, is only the first list. Since which jobs specifically is the question everyone actually has, here's the honest spectrum. By strand, not by title. Most exposed, work that happens entirely on a screen, follows patterns, and produces routine text or sorted information. Basic bookkeeping, generic customer support by email and chat, routine paperwork processing, first draft marketing copy, simple research summaries. If a job could, in principle, be done by a diligent stranger working from written instructions with no phone calls, AI is already circling it. Least exposed, work that touches the physical world or runs on trust. Plumbers, electricians, nurses, caregivers, teachers of actual children, anyone whose job is showing up to a specific place where things are unpredictable. And across every industry, the person who owns the outcome when it goes wrong. The middle, most office jobs, is exactly what it sounds like. Bundles losing some strands and gaining leverage on others. That's probably you, and the 2-column exercise is how you find out. Now zoom out, because this movie has run before, and the plot twist is consistent. When automated teller machines spread in the 1980s and 90s, everyone knew bank tellers were finished. The clue was in the name. For decades afterward, the number of tellers actually grew. Machines made branches cheaper to run, banks opened more branches, and the teller job shifted from counting cash to service and sales. When spreadsheet software arrived, armies of number-crunching clerks looked doomed. The clerk jobs did shrink, but accounting and analysis work expanded enormously. Because when calculation got cheap, everyone wanted far more of it. The pattern: technology eats tasks, the job reforms around what's left, and cheaper output creates demand nobody predicted. But honesty requires the other half. Some jobs really do vanish. Ask a switchboard operator or a typing pool. The pattern there is precise. Jobs disappear when they're almost entirely made of the automatable task. Jobs that are bundles bend. Jobs that are a single automatable strand break. And this wave has one genuinely new problem worth naming: the latter. The tasks AI does best, routine drafting, basic research, first pass everything, are precisely the tasks juniors used to learn on. That's the Stanford finding wearing its work clothes. The bottom rung is thinning. If you're established, this wave is mostly leverage. If you're starting out, or your kids are, the game is getting to judgment faster because years of doing routine tasks is a worse ladder than it used to be. That's a real change, and pretending otherwise would be hype in the other direction. So what do you do? Start with what doesn't work because it's being sold hard. Panic learning to code is not protection. Software writing is itself one of the most AI-exposed skills, which is an irony the everyone must code industry hasn't fully digested. Buying certificates in AI skills from whoever advertises loudest is mostly protection for the seller. And ignoring the whole thing works right up until it doesn't. What actually holds up is less dramatic. First, use the tools on your own job now, casually. Not a course, just handing your real chores to an AI assistant a few times a week. The draft, the summary, the spreadsheet formula. In an office where these tools are spreading, the person who knows what they're good at, and more importantly, where they fail, has quiet leverage over both the person who never touched them and the person who trusts them blindly. Familiarity is cheap insurance, and you can start tonight. The previous episode of this series is literally the on-ramp. Second, lean into the unautomatable strands of your bundle. The parts of your work that involve trust, judgment calls, difficult conversations, physical presence, and taking responsibility. Do more of those visibly. Every hour AI saves you on routine strands is an hour available for the strands that make you hard to replace. The people at risk aren't the ones whose jobs contain automatable tasks. That's everyone. It's the ones whose entire value is the automatable task and who decline to move. Third, and this is the quiet one, be the person who's accountable. Machines produce output, humans own outcomes. The report in AI drafts still needs a name under it. Someone who stands behind the numbers and takes the call when it's wrong. Accountability can't be automated because it was never a task in the first place. It's a relationship. Every workplace runs on it, and it's learned by practice, not by course. Now, the part most videos on this subject skip, the limits of anyone's knowledge, including ours. Nobody knows what this looks like in 15 years. Not the CEOs. Their predictions swing wildly between mass displacement and more jobs than ever, sometimes from the same CEO in the same year. And notice that each version conveniently supports whatever they're selling or soothing at the moment. Not the economists. They're rigorous about the past, and the past keeps surprising them. The technology itself is improving at a pace that makes 5-year forecasts genuinely unstable. Anyone radiating certainty about the far future of work is doing marketing in one direction or the other. The fear seller wants your attention or your course fee. The comfort seller wants your complacency or your vote. What you can bank on is nearer and smaller. The next few years look like turbulence, not cliff. Tasks migrating, bundles reforming, the entry rung thinning while experience judgment gets more valuable, unevenly, industry by industry. You don't need a 15-year forecast to act well in that world. You need exactly what this episode gave you. Know your bundle, use the tools enough to know their edges, and invest in the strands machines can't hold. That plan survives every version of the future currently on offer, which is the only kind of plan worth having. So what does AI actually mean for your job? Probably not disappearance. Jobs are bundles, and yours almost certainly contains strands no machine can own. Probably real change. The routine strands are migrating. The entry ladder is genuinely thinning, and pretending otherwise helps no one. And definitely this. The divide that matters in the next few years isn't human versus machine. It's between people who understand their own bundle and quietly picked up the tools, and people who let someone else define what they're worth. 10 minutes with a piece of paper. Your tasks, 2 columns. It's the least dramatic career advice on the internet, and more useful than 100 headlines. Next episode, how this technology actually works. No math, no jargon, one big idea, so the thing in the text box stops being magic and starts being understandable. You don't have to keep up with AI, you just have to know what it's good for. That's what this series is for. See you in the next one.